Yo, how's it going, YouTube? Theo being here. I'm going to be doing a quick trailer breakdown of what just dropped today. What was Breath of the Wild 2 now has its own official title, Tears of the Kingdom. The trailer just dropped today with the Nintendo conference. So I've already seen it, but I do want to kind of slow it down, go through it, and try to break down some of the details of what we saw. So let's get into it. Of course, the very first thing we see is this depiction of this figure here. Bokoblins, an army of them, what looks like to be Hyrule Knights. These don't look like Sheikah. They have swords and shields. Almost like they kind of resemble the hero of time or Link's kind of character to an extent, but there seems to be an army, so they might just be Hyrulean warriors. But whatever this is supposed to be depicting, we haven't seen this part of the history of what it's showing. And here we see this figure again, right? We see these symbols here. Small little squirrels, which could be implicative of the green magic that we've seen. It has to be swirling effects that we've seen in the first trailer. So when I saw this, first saw this picture as well, there's kind of two people that popped in my mind originally, of who this kind of reminded me of. Other than possibly being Ganondorf, which it doesn't really look to resemble him much at all. The two that really popped into my mind were Vati, as well as Zant from Twilight Princess. And Vati you might remember from Minish Cap. Those two kind of stuck out to me the most when I first saw this. This kind of looks like a more wizard-like person. Still not entirely sure who this is. This could be somebody else that's also completely new. And then this looks like the depiction of Ganondorf, right? From the first trailer we see of the body being held down, with his long orange hair. This looks like to be his corpse. Possibly, this could be the foreshadowing him being resurrected and brought back, like we've seen in the trailer. This could be somebody else, but I do want to say this is most likely Ganon. Then we see another character. Hold on a second. Let's go back for a second. So here, right, this looks like the eye is closed as well. There's a symbol on his head, right, which still makes me think this is Ganondorf. But then this other figure looks pointed ears. Makes me wonder if it's like it's a Gerudo, somebody different. Just another depiction of Ganon. Here we finally have gameplay of Link here somewhere above the clouds in this newer area that we'll be exploring above Hyrule. Or ascended parts of Hyrule. And then he's dropping in off the Fortnite bus. Here we have what's most likely going to be a new mechanic associated with the Sheikah Slate or whatever it is that we're using here for Tears of the Kingdom. Going all the way back up. Here we see what he originally looked like in the last trailer that dropped. No hat, this other piece of armor here. Meanwhile, here we see him in the original garb that we've seen from Breath of the Wild, what we're kind of used to. So, where we'll start and what will happen to get to and from one to the other, time will tell, but this looks like the Link we know in more the current state of what we've seen so far for Tears of the Kingdom. Makes me wonder if there's going to be some time elements at play, right? As opposed to this Link, his hair's so much longer. Makes me think that possibly we might be going through some time events might be involved in this one. And then here's another scene I want to break down because this is important. And I want to say it's probably the last scene too. After we send, we see the different isles. We also see a dragon flying, which should not be taken for granted. Or a bird or bat. It's I guess you can't say it's a dragon. It could be, hard to say. And then this part here. So from this part, we can tell this is still old. The Hyrule that we played and went through for the most part in Breath of the Wild. Of course, now we see all these different isles which have ascended from up off of Hyrule. And then here in the back, we can also see Death Mountain, just like it kind of was. It looks like it has erupted, possibly. This might be an effect when we go over here. And this area right here looks like it is Hyrule Castle, and it has ascended up with this dark like energy coming up from underneath it, which was also kind of what we saw at the very last trailer here that dropped a few months ago for Breath of the Wild 2, now Tears of the Kingdom. More isles here, and then here we finally see an even larger land of mass floating up in the sky. This looks like it's most likely going to be a pretty significant area. Sorry, it's also really loud. And then here we see this green swirling stuff that we saw during the first trailer. We see more of it. It makes a ring here. And we finally get our title, Tears of the Kingdom. And behind it, it's hard to tell, but once again, we see this giant figure that we saw in the original, one of the original shot. And this one's hard to make out who exactly this is, but it looks like they're joining hands. Then another shot, just going back here. Of course, so let's acknowledge this. We land on this giant, like, bird-like structure, which is something that we look like we will most likely be flying on. And then we see this giant green rune here. What this symbolizes or what this means, I don't know. Ideally linked to whatever this green magic is from the first trailer, as well as we see right here. Various trailers we see now. Tears of the Kingdom. So it's really hard to make out. This looks like the other figure that we see here, just seeing the eye. This could be... Keep going, keep going, keep going. You see this figure. The second one, which could be Ganon. It could be Ganon and what other... I don't know who this is. I don't think it's Ganon. It could be somebody who sealed him away as well. Then we see this either reminds me of Zelda, or even, oh my god, it's just what if this is Hylia? No, I mean, oh, it's really hard to say. Hylia just in past, I mean, who knows? It's different, right? Maybe thing we know when it comes to Hylia is the goddess statue, which this doesn't really look anything like. It's really hard to say. But this could be Ganon, it could be Zelda, it could be somebody else. I don't think it's Hylia, but it's just another thought across my mind. Obviously, it's somebody significant. Oh, this is actually something I just noticed here. This same figure is what we see here on the title screen. This almost looks like the head of a fish or the head of a ram. It's really hard to see and make out. It's unique, but you can tell here. We see the same like figure with these like almost ram horns, like. Then here we go out to this. Something looks significant here, right? Like something here, like, oh, it could be a pedestal for the Master Sword. It could be something, who knows, anything. And here we also have a look at a different looking shield. An eye with marks coming down from it. Looks like a different version of the Sheikah eye. Could date even back to like maybe ancient Sheikah. Who knows? But the eye like symbol here does somewhat resemble that. And then outside of that, here we have at the very end, we officially have a release date for the game. So I imagine we'll get one more trailer, probably sometime at the start of next year. We finally have a title name. We finally have our title name. We have a release date. So we might be getting more information this week from Nintendo. They don't really seem to be ones that really talk too much about it. They like to keep things close to the chest, it seems. But that's pretty much going to be it for this one. Let me know what your theories and some observations that you might have are. I'm really curious to see what other people are seeing, other people are saying regarding this. A lot of mystery, and it looks like Breath of the Wild was only one piece of the puzzle. So really curious to see what happens in this next one. And like I said, leave a comment down below what you think. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. It helps me out greatly. And with that, that's going to be it for this one. Thanks, and have a good one. Peace. Deuces. See ya.